Listen, this is not a case. This is a hearing, okay?
I'm on this.
Okay.
We're gonna
get away from him, man.
We're gonna be hearing out J Hobbs' case, regarding the what did you do again?
I don't know what
The
I
crash
did.
out.
The crash out.
The crash.
Regarding the crash out of J Hobbs, we're gonna look over the case. So you're gonna plead your case on why you should be forgiven for your sins. We're gonna hear you out, and depending on your speech, we're gonna decide if it's worth a case or not.
Okay, so this is just a hearing.
That's
like,
right.
And
That's
for
right.
a big.
That's right. So what I need from you is you're gonna explain your side of the story. You're gonna explain to me why we should have a case regarding this matter, and why we should rethink your choices, and why they deserve to come back. That's what we need.
Do I go now?
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Your Honor, permission to stand before the jury.
Go ahead.
Permission to stand in front.
You need me to swear him in, boss?
Go ahead, swearman.
All right. Repeat after me. I, J Hobbs,
I, J Hobbs,
solemnly swear
solemnly swear
to
Tell the
say the truth
to say the truth
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me, I'm obese.
So help me, I'm obese.
There you go, big chunky. Big
He's sworn
chunky.
in, boss.
Go ahead.
Look here.
Hold on, before you start, I want to make it clear, if anybody interrupts him, you're getting fined 500k. I do not give a fuck. Anybody interrupts him one time, you're getting fined 500k.
Let me eat these chips a little quieter. Hold on.
Go ahead, J Hobbs.
Well, I stand before you today to talk about the fateful events of January 19th, 2025. Honest testimony to God, I woke up that day. I already wasn't feeling good. My compa, one of my good friends, Edgar Del Castillo, passed away that week. I was already on the edge, and I was feeling some type of way. I don't know what it was. And then came the Future Hendrix situation, you know. At that time, you know, me and Future, you know, we bickered, we fought, right? You know, which is normal for brothers, friends. It's normal. But that fateful day, I don't know what it was, but it was just something, man. I just couldn't get over the fact where his actions, my actions, led to a car being seized, taken away, all the money, you know, and at the time it meant a lot to me. Obviously, looking back at it now in current day, money isn't everything. Stuff isn't everything. Stuff like that. It don't mean much in the grand scale of things. You know, I was in and out of prison at the time, right? 25 years in prison, all that harboring a fugitive. It gets old, you know, real fast. So on that fateful day, I remember it was, I believe one in Alan Kyles and a Future Hendrix. I have a warrant for my arrest of harboring another fugitive.
Yo, Dr. Pepper would have gifted my dog. Thank you so much.
As I'm going in to check in with Dr. Skip, I leave the hospital after treatment, and I come out to a Future Hendrix and an Alan Kyles giggling. Hey guys, what are you guys giggling about? I'm wanting on it. As per Future Hendrix says, hey Jay, you want to know something funny? I go, yeah. He goes, we just snitched on you. We said that there was J Hobbs coming out of the hospital. And I'm going to be honest, at the time, Alan Kyles was not in the Besties. I really wanted him in the Besties because that's my dog. So I knew that if I told Forehead or Ming that it was actually Alan Kyles that snitched on me, I believed at the time that his chances of joining the Besties would fall slimmer. So in turn, I pinned it on my dog, Future Hendrix. I went into the cubby and I lied to Forehead. I said, hey, Forehead, Future Hendrix snitched on me. When in reality, it wasn't Future Hendrix. It was Alan Kyles. And then that led to the punishments of Hood Court and all that. And Future Hendrix to pay me out for my car parts. And then came that fateful day, a Saturday, January 19th, 2025. Get picked up from the hospital after 3 days in prison. Or not hospital, from prison after 3 days, 3 years. And Forehead picks me up. Future's there, Miguel's there, Alan's there. Starts off normal, but I remember I was feeling some type of way. I was feeling upset. I don't know what it was that day, but there was some angst in the fog. I was coming in with some smoke. I say, yo, Future bitch, where my money at? Future goes, fuck is you talking about? I say, nah, boy, where my fucking money at, boy? Future again, fuck is you talking about? Future, where the fuck my money is? My money's on the underneath of my balls. Come grab it. All right, brother, that's it. That's enough. Forehead, come on in. Forehead comes in. We go down. Forehead gives me my money. Not the money that we agreed upon, but at the time, looking back at it, right, I should have been grateful to get any type of money, right? But in that moment in time, tensions were high. You put 5 alpha apex predators in a car. I mean, the tensions are going to get tough. It's going to get, you know, it feels like you could slice the tension with a knife. At that point in time, I wasn't having it. Someone would try to say something to me in one ear, out the other. One thing led to another. Some shit was said that cannot be unsaid on both ends. Before that fateful day, that fateful moment outside Senior Buns, I stood before Forehead. He said, "You're out the gang." In one ear, out the other. Kept yapping. And then, pass. And that's when I passed out and woke up at the hospital. No family, no nothing. Everything gone. You know, looking back at it, it was stupid. It was stupid to throw all that away. But it took time. It took months. It took growing. It took developing. It took maturing. It took me having to build my own gang over at Fudge to realize what I had here was special. It was. And for it to be thrown away for any reason, even may it be more serious, less serious, to throw that away, I believe was foolish. So now I stand before the jury today. I stand before the judge, seeking forgiveness. Your Honor, I rest my case.
That's your whole case?
Oh, I feel like I can't do much but give testimony.
Okay, now go take a seat. So, Mr. J. Hobbs, you know, I was moved by that speech. However, what I need from you is you to convince me and the rest of the people in the courtroom why you deserve a second chance. See, that's what really we need. We all know what happened. We know how it went down, and you recaptured that day pretty well. But now we need to move on, right? We need to know and make sure that it does not happen again. We need a guarantee from you. You need to be convincing on proving us that you've changed.
Yes, Your Honor. Permission to stand before the courtroom once again.
Go ahead. This guy's so good.
Some of you here today are asking why. Why? This guy again. Why is he back? I thought we got rid of him. Why bring him back for him to do the same thing again and again? Constant crash out, constant shit talking, constant meltdowns. What do we do in bringing back this irresponsible little chump back into Little Soul? I'm here to tell you that the same man that walked out, that left, that got blooded out on January 19th, 2025, he's no longer with us today. Well, not fully, completely. Today, April 18th, 2025, it's been 3 long months. During those months, I've had time to grow, develop, learn, be a leader. I put myself in the same shoes that Ming and Forehead wear every day. And wow, can I say after those 3 long months,
it's actually been 3 months, Chad?
Challenge, not an easy task. And for those of you that think I'm just capping, I encourage you, each and every one of you out there in the audience, in the jury, to do that yourself. Putting on the shoes of being a leader is a daunting, challenging, it's not easy at all. But me being the naive man I once was, didn't think that. I thought, being a leader, it's easy. You just sit back, you tell everybody what to do. You just, it's pretty fucking easy. But no, a leader bears the weight that an average member does not. A leader must wake up every day. A leader must be a beacon of light, a beacon of hope. They got to encourage the gang. They got to do what nobody else wants to do. And for that, I have gained a newfound respect for Forehead and Ming. Those days where I heard stories where it was just Forehead and Idiot and maybe Future. Those days where it was just Forehead holding it down in Little Soul. It gives me a newfound respect. Where even now to these days when I'm sitting on Fudge alone, I oftentimes do think of Forehead. I'm like, damn, how did he do that? Just him in a big world alone. How did he stand strong through these tough tests of time? How did he do that? Well, that's because Forehead is no average man. He's honestly one of the best leaders I've had the pleasure of working with.
This is just lying now.
Something funny, Jamal?
Nah, I just had to sneeze.
Now, going back to the original statement, you asked me, why are we giving this little twerp a chance? Why are we bringing him back? He just can do the same shit over again. He doesn't learn. Well, I assure you, over these 3 months, I've mellowed out. Am I still the same old J. Hobbs? The J. Hobbs that people did love? Yes. But would I say I'm a more mature more well-rounded, more mellowed out J Hobbs? Yes. Being on Fudge Lane, leading Fudge Lane has taught me that patience is one of the important virtues of not only a leader, but a member. I actually have had the pleasure of dealing with what I would call a mini J Hobbs by the name of Alana Reviews. She crashes out every second, every single time over the littlest things. And I even sat back and told myself, I'm like, man, is this what Forehead and Ming had to deal with? And I was like, no way, I couldn't have been this bad. But looking back at it, there may have been a chance I was this bad. So you ask myself, and Forehead said, why should I be given a second chance? That's why I stand before you guys today, to assure you that over the 3 long months, I have taken the time to grow, to learn, and to reflect on my actions. I understand what it means to be one of you guys, to, I just understand more. And to think I was so naive 3 months ago, it's ridiculous.
Someone said he did grow big. Yo, who's saying that he did grow big? You're wilding out, bro. Go sideways.
Your Honor, I rest my case.
All right. Anybody have anything they would like to add on? Mr. Armadillo.
I wasn't in the gang at this point. And I think, one thing I would want to know about you joining back to the Besties is your relationship with other people, like your pass. Because it seemed like when I was close to joining that you were closer to the pass than you were with the Besties.
Great question.
That shit, like personally for me, I don't like that shit. So I'd like to know where you stand with that situation right now.
Okay, rest assured, I've always been on the type of timing where gang is always first. Throughout my adventures with Edgar, the reason why I enjoyed spending time with him, I looked at it in the same way that Future did with SOB, except better. The way the 3-Pass did operate was in a way where it would never interfere with gang stuff. They never put me in a position to where I had to choose. They never put me in a position where I had to choose between 3-Pass and Besties. And they never did. When I went around with them, it was doing jobs, doing missions, none of which would put the Besties in a bad spotlight or interfere with any businesses. So rest assured, if that's the case again, I can tell you that the gang always comes first. And if there's any problems that arise from that, I believe I'm a good judge as to when I should say no, okay, I can't do this, or I can do this. I don't think it will be a huge problem, to answer your question, Miguel. And if it does, I obviously could stand down. And no secrets, any crazy shit, obviously I will report it to the gang, stuff that I believe is in need to know or whatever. Or even if you guys question me, hey, what'd you do today, or what'd you do yesterday, I'll just tell you what I did. And that's the honest truth. That's why I enjoyed hanging out with 3-Pass. Because if you didn't realize at the time, when you weren't in the gang at the time, I guess, during these times the gang wasn't jumping like this. It really wasn't. There really was nobody. So that's when I would just hang out with my dog Edgar. And with that, we did some cool shit, some fun shit. And none of that ever interfered with Bestie's business and or created conflicts for you guys. Where, actually, Your Honor, I would like to rest my case currently.
Okay, Mr. Jamal.
Jay, you are currently broke, and money is a big thing for you, and also cuts are a big thing for you. What would you say in the future, say if you do come back, will money affect you mentally? Because you did call me 20 minutes earlier asking if you want to do a plea, and you wanted all the money from me.
And
you did say in your speech that money don't matter.
Yeah, looking back at it.
Hold on, let me add on to that. Money was the reason he's out the gang, so that's a great question.
There you go.
Yeah, okay. And I already told you, I don't think, looking back at it, money, it really doesn't matter. And I asked you to do a job with me, Jamal, and I said, hey, you think I could keep all the money because I'm broke? I'm down bad, I need it. You simply said, yeah, sure. If it really was that big of a problem, Jamal, and you did hold some type of resentment, you could have told me. You'd be like, nah, can I get half? And then we would have went at it from there, right? I'd be like, maybe 60, 40, 50. And eventually we would have came to agreement. Would you or would you not agree?
True.
As for money in the Besties, it's no secret to y'all. And I'm just going to tell the truth. I'm going to say it how it is. I'm a go-getter. I'm a money maker. I get active. Getting money was really not a problem for me until I became a leader. I believe, being with you guys allowed my true attributes to come in. J Money Maker, J Go Getter, J Bread Baker type shit. I was a go getter. I was a money maker. I had 3 mil to my name when I was in the gang. And I'm gonna be honest, I always been a money maker and I can make money. And the truth is, I'm broke because I allow myself to be broke currently. If I want to make money, snap of the fingers, I do that. I can. But the truth is, as a leader, I decided to sit back.
We got a question right there. We got a question. Go ahead.
Yep, question for Pops.
Yeah. So right now, all the bank loot and all the job loot kind of goes to the gang now. So what other ways you gonna make money?
It does go to the gang.
So what other ways are you gonna make money?
You're talking about for me,
banks and shit.
Well, the truth of the matter is, I hold multiple properties on Fudge, to which Nino has offered me. I can get a grant upwards from 10 to 20 million for all my houses on Fudge. So you ask me how I get money? I wouldn't need money because if I left what's behind on Fudge, I would be coming back here a multi-millionaire. 10, 15, 20 million. So I wouldn't need to get money. To be honest.
Forrest's got a question.
What's up?
Now, you mentioned that, you selling your properties on Fudge will get you a lot of money, right?
Yeah, a lot. Oh, a lot
now,
of money.
I assume that those assets are shared between you and your old gang.
Yeah,
and
my old gang doesn't exist.
Okay, but all these people dead?
No, but they don't come around. So I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it would be crazy for me to take a majority of that.
And let me ask you another question. You have any ties to these old people in your crew?
Am I fond of them? They're in my old crew. There are people I'm very fond of that I'm gonna, that is with. It's making me like.
What I'm asking is, are you willing to leave them behind?
In my eyes, I've only ever really had one family, and that's you guys. As for leave them behind, I don't think I would leave them behind. I don't think I would leave them on bad terms. I think they would understand. I told this to Miguel and Ming that we've talked about selling the properties and calling it quits multiple times. I've told them about how I feel. I've told them that it's been a struggle, and it wouldn't come to them as a surprise if I did leave them behind. But I wouldn't look at it like that. They would understand. And it wouldn't be on bad terms. OP has even encouraged me, my second in command. Only people I'm truly fond of is OP, Freddy. The rest of them don't wake up. And Alana, she's cool too. Pain in the ass, but she's cool. But she would understand most definitely. But to answer your question, if I would leave them behind, you guys have been the only family I've ever really known since I came into the city all those years ago. Especially Ming, especially Future, Jamal, and you, Forehead. You guys took me in when I had nothing. So yes, I would leave them behind.
Any more questions? Oh, Vidal, no, you go quick. Come on, Vidal.
Me? Hey, listen, man. So listen, there's something that you said that really piqued my interest, and I just want clarity on it, right? Throughout your entire dialogue, man, you said you grew as a person. Now, what I'm curious on is...
Bro was under the table.
You growing weight?
Oh,
nah. Both.
No. That's a very good question.
Objection.
That's a great question.
Yeah, can I
Argumentative, actually.
That was a great question.
I'm gonna object that. Badgering the witness. That's objection, badgering the witness.
I also have a question. I think this is one that wouldn't be asked publicly, but I will ask it on behalf of the plaintiff. I think Forehead's main interest is: would you be willing to treat him nice at seafood boil like you did me?
Jesus Christ, bro.
Objection. Weird.
Let me.
Objection. Weird.
Objection. Weird shit. Jay Hobbs is talking about.
Can I just point out? No. Hold on. Can I point out? Can we like have 10 minutes where we're serious or no?
We had about fucking 3 hours.
Yeah, find this motherfucker. You said if somebody interrupts, find him for 5 minutes.
Find this
I asked a
motherfucker.
question. I put my hand up.
Well, he didn't really interrupt. He just asked a stupid question.
I got a serious question.
Go ahead.
Can we sound on the fudge lane?
J. Bartholomew Luther Hobbs. We've known you for a long time, a lot of us. And I noticed, you act differently when you're with us. Obviously, you're a little bit more comfortable with us. You said, from your dialogue, you said this is the only family you really had. Now, a lot of us have doubts, thinking, oh, it's J. Hobbs. He's going to do the same thing again. He's going to crash out again. he's gonna make a big deal again. J Hobbs never changes. He's gonna do the same thing he's been doing. He's gonna go back to his old ways, his old roots. The same reason why he is where he is today. I'm having a hard time believing you're actually gonna change and not do the same dumb shit you did before, Jay.
Was the bro trying to RP question mark?
Is this really the time you're gonna change your life and act the way you're supposed to, or is this just another facade to get another
Brody
chance
is
of
not
acting a fool in front of
cinematic. Oh, come on, bro. Give him a.
Wonderful question.
I feel like that
Andrew.
question's
And
been
I'm
answered.
glad because that's
Asked and
probably
answered.
what some people in the very back was thinking. That's probably what the jury was thinking. That might be what the judge is thinking right now. My official answer to you, future Hendrix, is no, it's not a facade. You guys are probably sick and tired of hearing me say this, but it was 3 long months I was gone. 3 long months since today. I learned a lot about myself, about how the city operates, about what it's like to not be in a pretty powerful gang. I've learned a lot, and I've grown to know that I took a lot of things. I took you guys for granted. I took the the luxuries that you guys offered me for granted. I just took being in the Besties for granted, and you know that saying, you know that age-old saying where it's like you only know what you've lost when you've lost it, or you only know you love her when you let her go.
No,
you know that age-old saying?
The saying is you don't realize what you have until
It's gone. Yep. And we can apply, and I don't think that saying is applied more in my life than when I lost you guys, my family, my brothers, Jamal, Future, my brothers, Forehead, my brother, my pops, Ming Jingtai. You know what I'm saying? So I assure you, yes, I've learned, I've grown, and I can appreciate the little things more. I really can. Not even my outlook on the gang it has changed. My outlook on life has changed. It's a cold world out there, and being away has showed me that.
Great answer, J Hobbs. Great answer. Oh, Lucky, you had a question, Lucky?
Well, I had a question.
Yeah, you had a question, right?
Yeah, you had your hand up, Lucky.
Yeah, I got a question. Hey, give me a second. Let me think about it. Ask someone else. I'll come back to me.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Armadillo.
You know, Jay, you know I fuck with you. And you know, one of the main things that that ever since I started hanging around with the group was, you going on and on and on about your car parts, and the money that was acquainted to it. You're talking about selling your properties to make some money, like 10 to 20 million. Are you gonna, in the nicest way possible, are you gonna act out if you get asked from the gang for like a couple $100K or $1 million on a sporadic time?
Okay. Done. Okay. Beautiful question. And I don't even need to answer that. I believe individuals like Ming, Forehead, Jamal, and Future can attest. During my time in the gang, someone asked me for anything, guns, money. I've always been easy. I've been very generous. I would have no problem. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, Future, you could go ahead and why don't you hop in there for me? Can you attest for my generosity?
Your Honor, I'd like to deny the motion to let Future talk about this because Future calls himself the most selfless person in the gang.
You got another witness that can attest to what you're saying?
Oh, yes. You, Aubrey Webster and Ming, I could call to the stand to talk about my selflessness and generosity to the gang. If asked for something, it's given. Need money? I got you. Oh, and Mike Manax would be good. Right, I was paying for mats out of my own pocket because during the time you guys weren't around, I was handling the mat side of things.
I do remember that. I could be wrong here. Okay, listen, I could be wrong, but I believe there was a time when you were looking for money back. Or am I mistaken?
I was looking for money back.
I believe so.
Like money back for
the materials.
I'm gonna be honest. You are very correct. Yeah. There was a time where I was in debt, and I asked Mike. I said, "Hey, you think you could slide me some money for the mats?" I didn't ask for all of it.
Point you just brought up where you were so generously given the gang materials. For that generosity, you've asked for money back.
I can name the amount. I spent over 800, 900K on mats, and the only money I asked for back at the time from Mike was 182,500. I'd agree. Why ask for it back? But at the time, you know, I was in need, and you guys were my family, and I feel like that is, you know, with all due respect to the court, to the jury, I feel that it was not out of touch. I feel like it wasn't wrong for me to ask for some money, $182,500, you know, to help me get back on my feet. But the total I've spent in mats were 900K out of my own pocket. Yes, I did ask for that money back.
Okay.
But I was still at a net loss. And Future doesn't have to come in and attest, but I will say that when Future asks me for money, even back in the day, I will give it to him. Ming need money, I'll give it to him. Anybody needs some shit, I'll give it to them.
You know how the city works, right, Jay? Right, where any day you could be given an opportunity and you might have to spend a lot of money, you know?
Oh, 100%.
And that money doesn't grow on trees, you know, and people have to form together and put a lot of cash together. And, you know, like Future already reminds us on a daily basis about how much money he spends for the gang.
I love that you brought that up. I love that you brought it up. That's wonderful. When the gang introduced the jetpack fund, I was the first to pledge $2 million to that jetpack fund.
Wait, he was?
Instantly pledged it. So yes, I listen, I don't need much. Need a trusty tactical rifle, AK, maybe a deagle. I don't need much.
Nah.
Few oxys, an armor, 2 to 3 armor plates, 3 lock picks, an advanced lock pick, 10 med kits, 15 tourniquets, couple foods, 4 repair kits. I don't need much, right? I don't really need all that money. I just need the basics, the fundamentals. I'm an easy guy, you know, not much pampering. So it's not, you know, what do you call that? I'm not high maintenance type shit. I just need my brother.
Okay. Yeah, I think Lucky said he had his question ready.
Go ahead, Lucky.
What do you mean by brothers?
What did he say?
Brothers, my brothers from another mother's.
So who's that?
Well, I'm referring to all those that stand before me. Whether or not we have history, Lucky, I've always liked you. OP, always liked you. I've liked Alan. I've liked Miguel. You guys are my brothers. Then there's obviously Vidal. VD on top, baby. VD, baby, huh, Vidal? I'm looking at you, baby. Come on, VD.
One last question. We got one last question from Ming. Go ahead, Ming.
Your Honor, I wasn't done.
Respectfully, you're done. Go ahead, Ming.
So do your brothers include the ones that stole your white card plug and you crashed out on them?
You mean Omar?
Yeah, the one. What did you? Call
that incident where I believe a gang member was threatened to be blotted out.
Oh, you're talking about Thomas?
And when he crashed out on Thomas, remember that?
That's the incident.
You guys are remembering this wrong. Let me tell you what it is. Omar, I never threatened to blood him out. I was just calling him a little bitch boy. Thomas, I said it would be my life's mission to get Thomas blooded out the gang. As you can see, it didn't work out too well. But yeah, I mean, and then here's the thing though, and Ford could attest to it. Ford had pulled me aside, drove me around, and he said, "Hey, bro, you got to learn like not to say crazy shit like that, and like be careful of how Thomas feels." And Forehead, I ask you this: after you told me that, did I ever come at Thomas incorrectly?
Not at Thomas.
Not at Thomas. There we go. Perfect. Omar, I mean, yeah, I thought it was a bit disrespectful that I have a white card plug I'm attributing. And this guy Omar came at it. I mean, yeah, looking back at it, could I have handled it differently? For sure. But yeah, in a moment, could I admit that I was wrong and I handled it the wrong way? Yes. But in current present day, could I admit that I could go about it differently if I was to come across the same situation again? Yeah.
All right. I think that's really it. Mr. J. Hobbs, your case has been heard. I'm going to discuss with the jury. We're going to come to a verdict, actually, and we'll be in touch. Whether your case will be heard or not.
Thank you to the jury, Your Honor, and the audience. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Make sure you hit up Terry.